Sup guys, it's me. I'm back, but sadly not feeling 100% as of yet. And every single time I finally commit, right, to stopping drinking after a period of drinking copious amounts, the reality that you don't wake up on that second day of taking alcohol out and feel amazing. It just doesn't happen. You've still got a dry mouth. You're still fatigued. It doesn't matter how much sleep you get. It's not quality sleep yet. And you're just not 100%. Like, I can't put my finger on it right now why I'm not 100%. The first thing is the dry mouth, even though I've drunk 2 litres of water this morning. And the second is just a general feeling of, I'm not even looking into the past right now. I'm not even kicking myself due to the mistakes I've made. That's gone. I got through all of that yesterday. Now it's just a matter of waking up, feeling refreshed, feeling physically good. And that simply hasn't happened today, sadly. And every single time I quit drinking, it does take a while, but I always tell myself, right, as long as I get through that first day, I'm going to wake up fucking firing the next day. Well, sadly, it hasn't happened. But either way, I made it into work, and I'm cracking on with it. And there's nothing else you can do. There's nothing else you can do. We have someone in the car park. I don't know if they're coming in or not, but I will let you know. Nope, they are not coming in. See, I work next to a podiatrist, and a relatively popular podiatrist. We've got a small car park, and what that means is that I'm going to say for 9 out of every 10 cars that park in this car park, I see them pull in, I think, right, 10 seconds, 20 seconds goes by, 30 seconds goes by, and then I see them trottle off behind their car over to the podiatrist, and I think, thank God for that. So that's just happened once again. No, he's on his way back. Are they closed? They might well be. So anyway, I've gotten through my latest, I'm going to call it a relapse, as much as I didn't want to admit it. And it began because there was alcohol in the house, which is no excuse, but it is what it is, that contributed to it. And I was left with a conscious choice. Do I indulge? Do I not? I'm making these videos. I made it to 60 days. I made a video on day 60. And as much as I hate to say it, subconsciously, at that point, whilst I was even making that video, I knew that there was this bottle of Bailey's in the cupboard, right? And it had been staring at me for a while, and I just wanted a couple of drinks. I didn't want to go and buy a bottle. I didn't want to, have to go and buy Coke Zero. I'd drunk enough Coke Zero to last a lifetime, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to have a wee drink of this, and I liked it. I really liked it, and it took me about 3 or 4 days to get through a whole bottle of Bailey's. And yeah, I was capping it at probably 2 or 3 drinks, 3 standard drinks per night. But there I go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I polished off 2 bottles in a night or I was drinking 2 or 3 standard drinks per night. I was drinking every night. And I was able to stop it for a few more days. But then we were leading into Christmas, and I had all the stress around my apartment and getting it tenanted, and it just rolled into me buying, unfortunately, a bottle of whiskey. And, we all know what happens when you get a bottle of whiskey and you want your first drink to be stiff, and you start changing your eating habits around not wanting to waste any drop of that alcohol because it cost a lot of money, and you just go right back to those alcoholic tendencies, right back to them instantly. And so it's just such a more simple option. It's a simple life. It's a positive life. It's a happy life when you just take it out. Because I've said this before, and I'll say it again, to rule your life with moderation is hell. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I felt like I was living with a healthy level of moderation during those first 4 days when it took me 4 days to get through a bottle of Bailey's. But it just took the shine off of things. Even after that first or second night, I woke up feeling disappointed. And, you know, when I look back and I've been bouncing out of bed and just so happy, like, you know, I honestly felt like nothing could bring me down, ever, after I'd had about 30 days of sobriety. And so I know that I can feel like that. And I know that probably by the end of this week, if I can get back in the gym and have a good couple of sessions, I'll be feeling like that. I know I will. It's probably going to take about 3 or 4 days to a week, but I'll start getting that pride back, that self-confidence back. And look, at the end of the day, this is just me. I'm just bouncing this off the camera, right? There's no one giving me shit. There's no one telling me I'm a failure. It's all in here. And so I really need to just harness that and just remove it. Remove any negative self-talk out of my head right now, because I do have a life to be proud of. I have made really good changes, positive changes over the last 75 days, 76 days. And I've got to remember that. I had a slip up. Relapse is a part of my journey. It is what it is. I'm at work. It's a new year. And I've actually decided with Miffy to start 75 hard. So there's certain aspects of 75 hard that I just do anyway, but one that I haven't been doing is reading a book. So I bought a book yesterday with the view to possibly start 75 hard today. Another thing that I haven't been doing is tracking my calories. And so I'm going to bring a new series to this channel called Tracking My Calories, or Counting My Calories, for the next 30 days. And over the next 30 days, I'll be counting my calories. I began this morning with a weigh-in, and I was weighing 91.7 kg. So that's my day one weight. I've been binging, not only on alcohol, but also on food. But I've been able to get through the Christmas period without blowing back up to like 96, 97 kgs, which is where I was at 60, 70, 80 days ago. So I was able to get through pretty much scot-free. Yes, I had a few hangovers to deal with, but as far as my weight, as far as putting on body fat, I think I got through pretty well. So it's not going to take long for me to get back down to the 90s, if not 89. And I really want to get down to something like 87 kgs by the end of these next 30 days. Will put me in a really nice lean shape. But you don't want to just get skinny. So I'm going to have to train as well, which is what I've been doing. It's all good. I just lost it there. I fell off. But I'm fucking back. Because I've got to be. There's no other option. I refuse to live my life waking up with a negative mindset. I refuse. So I've got to put in the work once again, but I have to remember not to be so hard on myself. So those are some thoughts, and my thoughts alone. I'll be with you later on, but I do need to start this next series, which is 30 days of tracking my calories. And as of this morning, I've had 2 litres of water. I've got a little bit of sugar-free cordial, which allows for an easier time of drinking a lot of water. I've got a coffee with half a teaspoon of sugar, so I will be adding that. And we're going to do this. We're going to jump back on. I'm using this as an opportunity to make further positive changes. You know, another change that I haven't done is tracking my calories, and I want to be on top of everything. I want to have my life in order, totally, and thrusting myself into this 75 hard will be a great way. You know, I want to start to look forward to my evenings, not because I'm having a drink, but because I get an opportunity to delve into a book. Now, wouldn't that be something? We'll see how it goes. Right, guys, got my contacts in, almost ready to go to the gym. It's 4:27 in the PM. I just wanted to make mention to a measurable that I always look at, and I definitely look at it when I'm detoxing from alcohol, or on alcohol, or during a period of sobriety. Or whilst working out, or look, throughout the day, throughout every single day, at multiple times throughout the day, I look at my watch and I look at my heart rate and I see what it's doing. And if I have a resting heart rate of anything around 50 beats per minute, I know that my body is really at rest and it is not detoxing from any substance. Now, I've seen my heart rate get down as low as 48 beats per minute today, which means it doesn't need to mean anything in the real sense of the word. It doesn't actually need to mean anything. But what it means to me and what it does for me mentally is really, really important, because it is a measurable that means a hell of a lot to me. I do look at it a hell of a lot. And so when I'm looking at it and I'm seeing a resting heart rate of like 60 beats per minute, that tells me that, oh my God, I'm still detoxing from alcohol. And mentally it fucks me up, because I've done that to myself. I've poisoned myself, and I'm having to deal with the consequences, and I fucking hate that. I absolutely hate it. So being that it's about 40 hours since my last drink, I feel like I've definitely gotten through the worst of it. I have detoxed pretty much fully. I've continued my water intake throughout the entire day, gone to the toilet probably about 8 or 10 times. My piss is relatively clear, which is good. And so, I've done all of the damage control that I would have been capable of. So now I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to test myself. I'm going to test my back. It is feeling, it's really bad, man. It's a type of pain that's hard to. It's inflammation. It's an acute injury, and it's inflammation surrounding that area. It's happened before. It'll most likely happen again. But I'll tell you one thing, I will not be doing any deadlifts for the rest of my life. I don't need to. I'm getting to that age where I honestly do not need to. It's things like deadlifts and squats. Yeah, they look really, really good. They look really, really impressive. And if you do a really good session and you don't get injured, it feels really good too. But it's just not worth it for me. I don't need to. I was going great guns in the gym without having to do deadlifts. But I saw someone do them, and I was like, you know what? It's about time I get back into it. Knowing that, knowing full well that in the past I have, and look, I could probably do 6 months of core work and 6 months of lower back work, and I might be able to get my body into, a solid enough shape to be able to push through a big deadlift session injury-free. But at the moment, all I really need to do is burn some calories, stay active, and maintain whatever muscle mass I've got in my body. I'm happy with that. I'm 33 years old, and I'm working through some heavy alcohol addiction, and that's all I need. I don't need to be a bodybuilder anymore. Although it wouldn't be, it's not out of the question for me to get back on a bodybuilding stage. But for now, that is just so far down the track. I've just got to remain consistent in the gym, and that is not going to involve deadlifts. So I'm going there now. It's 4:31. I wish you all a fantastic day. This will be the final clip of the day. Quitting alcohol day 76 or 77, I'm not quite sure. We're 40 hours sober from alcohol once again. And the last day that I drank, which was New Year's Eve, was a copious amount. It was 20 standard drinks, which is pretty standard for me back in the day. But at the moment, God, it was a bad hangover. It was terrible. And I'm going to test myself right here. No, that's not a good idea. My head is in a very vulnerable state right now, and it hurts. And so does my ego. But the only way to get that going again is to get back in the gym, get back on the bandwagon, forget about the past, move forward, focus on the future, and make that future as positive as possible. By making positive choices, positive decisions, being optimistic if possible. But what I do know is that even if I don't feel optimistic today, another night sober, another morning without a hangover, and I'll just feel that much more optimistic. You know, I just released a video on day 30. I just released my day 30 video a couple days ago. And I remember how fucking good I was feeling that day. It was up there in the office, in my old office space. I'm downstairs now, but the way that I was feeling, I was just buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing. I felt so proud of myself. I had a job. And one thing I will say is that I'm so, you know, and what I was going to say is that I just want to get back to that. I really do. And it's not far away. It's not 30 days away, that's for sure. But I'm so grateful and so thankful, and this is what I said in that video, to have a job. Because I'll tell you what guys, if I had have had 14 days on the piss, which I pretty much have recently, and I didn't have a job to go to fill my day, you know, today on day 2 of sobriety, like, you need something to fill that time. You need something to do. Otherwise you've got absolutely no hope. And you will look for any excuse to drink because you're bored. You're fucking bored. And as humans, we're not, you know, early retirement does seem like a really, really great idea, but I'll tell you what, most of us, if we got given that opportunity, would be fucking bored out of our minds after a couple of weeks. Or an alcoholic after a couple of weeks. So those are some thoughts, and as always, my thoughts alone. And I'm off to the gym.